You see force in motion every single day, arguably every hour of the day. And especially in elementary school, you guys are playing all kinds of sports and all kinds of games that require so many different forces of motion. And so, one that I thought of that I know all of you have experienced at least some point in your life, I'm going to share my screen real quick, is when you guys go to the playground every day. So when you guys go to the playground, you might not slide as much as you did then as you did now, but I want you to take a look and watch this kid go down the slide. I want you to think about the size of the kid, how old he is, how heavy he might be, and take into consideration the person that's pushing him down the slide. So let's watch. Lots of fun. So I want you to think about how, like I said, how big he is, what size he is, how much he weighs. And I want you to compare it to maybe someone like this going down the slide. This is a grown man going down the slide. And so when you push someone down a slide, there's different things that are taken into account. Someone that is smaller is less mass all around is going to be a lot easier to push and also a lot easier to stop compared to maybe this grown man who's probably a solid 5, 6 feet taller, at least an extra 150 pounds heavier. It's going to be a lot harder to push him down the slide and stop him at the slide than it is maybe the toddler. So that's the big idea that I think about, that I think you guys and I have all experienced at least some point in our life. And so the other thing that I want to bring your attention to is stuff like, let me get this back, is stuff like soccer, for example. The ball, the size of the ball, the weight of the ball is such a big factor into how far that ball goes when you're passing it to a friend on your team. With that, though, there's also how hard is the person kicking the ball to get it to person A to B. So, how big is the ball, but then also how much force is being put onto the ball. Another example of this is baseball with a bat. Same idea. You have to take into account how small the ball is, how heavy the ball is, but also how hard the person is swinging it. So these are things that we see in our every single day life. I just experienced a force in motion when I opened up my laptop. I had to force the top of my laptop up, and there was resistance there. And just something as simple as that, you have to take into account how heavy is the computer? How hard am I pushing to get it open? And so even something like opening the door, if it's a really heavy door and it's someone that is not very strong, it's gonna be a lot harder to open that door than, say, a light door that's very easy to move and someone super strong. So these are all things that we need to take into account when we're thinking about force and motion, and also just something that we need to maybe pay attention to more. Like, where do we see force and motion every day? Because there are plenty of examples.